3-hour ceasefire in Gaza is in its third day and is due to end in just under 3 hours' time. The two sides are meeting in Cairo, but so far there's been no agreement on a lasting truce. In Gaza, 6 people were killed as experts dismantled an Israeli missile. Amongst the dead were Simone Camilli, a journalist with the Associated Press, and a Palestinian translator. Well, we can speak now to Yuval Shteyniץ. He's the Minister of Intelligence for Israel. Thank you very much for joining us here. What's going to happen in 3 hours' time?
Well, the real answer is we don't know. We are ready to extend the ceasefire officially or unofficially. We already said that quiet will be answered by quiet. But, you know, with such terrorist organizations like Hamas, which is from the same family of ISIS in Iraq or Al-Qaeda or Boko Haram, you can never know. We prepare ourselves for everything, to all possible developments.
But you won't attack first?
No, we already said, you know, we are ready to any truce. We didn't want this round of violence at first place. We accepted all the 7 ceasefires proposals by the Egyptians or the UN. All of them were violated by Hamas. At least this one was so far kept by both sides. Let's wait and see. We have no interest in any kind of war or violation of the ceasefire. We are ready to extend it. Maybe more time is needed in order to arrange, to reach some understanding, some arrangements, and we are ready for a truce, for a ceasefire. But of course, we have to be ready also to the possibility that Hamas will resume mortars or rocket attacks on our citizens, and then, of course, we will have to defend ourselves as before.
But you say then, of course, you'll have to defend yourself as before. If Hamas is the terrorist organization that you say it is, in the same as ISIS and Boko Haram, isn't it Israel's responsibility as the state to take a responsibility here, to quieten things down, not to retaliate?
You know, this is funny. First, it's funny that you ask me if Hamas is a terrorist organization. Let me tell you, you won't ask such questions about Al-Qaeda or ISIS. ISIS is working in Iraq and Syria. Al-Qaeda worldwide. Why Hamas is different? The same ideology, the same jihadist terrorist ideology. And by the way, Hamas is recognized as a terrorist organization, not just by Israel, by the United States of America, by Canada, by the European Union, by the United Kingdom. So first I suggest to call it the right name. It's a terrorist organization who in the past, when it was possible, sent hundreds of suicide bombers into Israel and killed 1,000 Israeli civilians in the Second Intifada. Now it's impossible for him to send suicide bombers from Gaza into Israel, so instead it is launching rockets from Gaza into Israel. But it's a terrorist organization, and this fact is recognized not just by Israel, but also by Europe and America and all the civilized world.
Okay, sir, but how is this conflict going to end? How is this conflict going to end in your eyes?
You ask me?
Yeah.
You know, you have to ask them. They started the conflict. They violated 7 previous ceasefires. Fortunately, this one, the 8th ceasefire, is kept by both sides, also by the Hamas. I don't know. The very fact that you have such a terrorist organization armed with thousands of rockets in Gaza, which was supposed, let me remind you, to be totally demilitarized, according to the Oslo Agreement. There is clear Palestinian Authority commitment that Gaza and the West Bank will be totally demilitarized, come what may. So the very fact that instead there are thousands of Iranian rockets in Gaza and thousands of them are being already launched into Israel, this is a very sad fact. We have to protect ourselves. Sooner or later, Gaza should be demilitarized again for the benefit of both Israelis and the people of Gaza.
Yuval Shteyniץ, thank you very much for coming on BBC World News Today. Many thanks.
You are most welcome.
Well, she was one of the last survivors of Hollywood studio age. Lauren Bacall has died at the age of 89 in New York. She was known for her smouldering looks, husky voice, and her partnership on and off the screen with Humphrey Bogart.